Hey guys, welcome back to the Second Time Lucky Mining channel. In today's video, we're going to have a look at the Acer Stuff 3070. So this specific card right here. I'm super excited about this specific card because I've been looking for it for a long time and the prices has finally started dropping. And I pulled the trigger actually on two of them. This specific LHR model here and a non-LHR that I managed to get off Facebook Marketplace. If you like this type of content, please smash the like button or maybe consider subscribing to the channel. It will help me out a great deal. But enough of plugging my channel, let's get back to the graphics card. In this video, we're going to look at the 3070 from a mining perspective. Specifically, we will have a look at what does it physically look like. We'll quickly talk about the specifications and then I'll go through the overclock and performance of the 3070 in my situation where I've got a LHR model and a non-LHR model, both of them Acer Stuff 3070s. So we'll have a look at my settings on Flux and then obviously on Ethereum, and I'll share my thoughts on the 3070 overall. Okay, so let me show you where the mining operation is. So this is exactly where I've got the two 3070s. So as you can see, there are the two Acer Stuff 3070s. The one on the left hand side is non-LHR that I got second hand. This one is a brand new one that I bought that is unfortunately LHR, but what it's doing at the moment is both of these cards are mining Flux, but what I want to do and the performance that I'll show you guys is on the left hand side here I've got my amazing Octominer case. It currently has got one LHR card inside of it, so it's a 3060 Ti, unfortunately a gigabyte one, but hopefully I can get rid of that soon. So what I want to do is I want to transfer the 3070 non-LHR and swap it with the 3060 Ti LHR and move it to my open air frame. So ultimately then I have all my LHR cards here on the open air frame mining Flux, where I am maximizing my potential on Ethereum within the Octominer case with all my non-LHR cards. So that's sort of what I want to do, but let's take out the 3070 so I can give you guys a closer look. Alright, so I've taken it out of my open air rig and this is sort of what it looks like. So as you can see, it's got three massive fans, which actually looks quite cool, and is going to keep the graphics card cool. The color scheme actually looks nice. It probably would look good on my gaming computer. I've got the same type of gray dark scheme. So, but anyway, this is in my mining rig. Looking at it, it's got three fans. So as I mentioned here, the three fans is actually great. I really prefer this 3070, or not this one specifically, but any 3070 to be honest, over a A4000. So I don't know if you've watched some of my other videos. I do have a A4000. I'll leave a link in the video description to that, but you know, it hashes the same from an Ethereum perspective compared to the 3070, but the 3070 is way cooler and cheaper. And then the second-hand value of the 3070, in my opinion, probably would be better than the A4000. So that's sort of why I really like the 3070s. From a mining perspective, you can see here it's nice and thick. So this specific heatsink together with the three fans will help keep this specific card cool. Now, the other thing to note here from a mining perspective is it supports two 8-pins, so we will have to connect it with two 8-pins, you know, coming from your power supply. Something else to have a look at the back, there is a BIOS mod switch, so there's a quiet mode and then a performance mode. Obviously I've got it on performance. I don't know if the quiet mode makes a difference. Maybe it does. I probably need to go and test that. Now the other thing to note is just the specification. So this is a 8GB card on the memory side. It has a 256 bus, so it's very similar to the RX 6800 XTs or the non-XTs or the 6900 XTs, right? So they all have the same 256-bit bus, and this specific card has got 8GB of GDDR6. So it's not 6X like the 3070 Ti, the 3080, the 3080 Ti, and the 3090. So they have all got the GDDR6X, which goes very, very hot. Something else to note here, and what I've been noticing on Son of a Tech's channel, or I watch his daily mining recaps most days, is I think this is what he was mentioning. So if I can show you guys here, I'm not sure if the camera would do it justice, but there is a active cooling. I think that is where the RAM is. So what I've heard is the thermal pads aren't that good on the RAM side. So if you do have thermal issues with this specific Asus TUF card, you probably need to take off and replace those thermal pads. But enough of talking about the card. What I'm going to go and do next is do the swap out of my Octominer case, my 3060 Ti, into my OpenAir rig, and put this specific card in my Ethereum mining case, the Octominer. And I really do love the Octominer, and I'll leave a link if you haven't watched my video on that. It's really good. But anyway, I'll quickly do the swap, and then I will jump to the computer and have a look at the mining performance. Specifically, again, Ethereum and Flux. Those are the only two coins that I'm actually interested in. So I'll show you guys what the hash rates are, and then what overclocks am I using for that specific hash rate. Okay, so let's have a look at the performance of the two 3070s. So let's first have a look at Ethereum. So here you can see this is my Octominer case. I'm just going to jump straight into it. Whoops. So let me just click on that. I've played around with the overclocks a little bit. So here you can see this is where the 3070 is here. So from an overclock perspective, I've got 2600 on the memory, 120 power limit, and then minus 200 on the core. So I get about 62 mega hashes. And again, the main competitor for me, at least, between the 3070 is the A4000. So here you can see, you know, the A4000 gets a little bit less, but as I mentioned, you can see the temperature. It's very early in the morning, so it's quite cool outside, and that you can sort of have a look at my temperatures that the Octominer reads from an intake perspective. It's fairly cool so far, but already the fan is at 80% on the RTX A4000. But anyway, so this is sort of what I get on Ethereum. Now, if we jump back to my OpenAir frame, this is where I am mining Flux. So from a Flux perspective, I get about 66 sols, and this has been consistent for a while. Looking at my overclocks for Flux, I do the memory about 2700, a power limit of 175, and then a slight overclock on the core. So, you know, from my perspective, Flux needs a nice balance between the core and the memory, and I think this is sort of the sweet spot, at least for my card. If you are using any other overclocks that is not this, I'm happy to have a look and see if I can apply those. That's it for this one, guys. If you've liked the video, please like it and maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.